All right, so I bet you're wondering, well, now what? I've done part one, where I defined my vision. I've done part two, where I prioritized my needs. I've done part three, where I chose the ecosystem that I'm going to use. Well, now what? Well, now we're going to go over step 4 of designing your smart home, a beginner's guide. And step 4 is about starting with the basics. So there's some, like what I'll call core devices that you want in every smart home. Okay. And one of the first things you want to do is a smart switch like this right here. This Casa smart switch right here lets you obviously do on and off, and it also has the ability of dimming. And again, it integrates with all of the smart home ecosystems. So it's something that you can use regardless of what system you're using. And then the next thing you want to do is some smart bulbs like this system here. This is a Philips Hue system, which is my favorite. Again, they just work. I know they're a little more expensive, but in my experience with smart bulbs, they give me the least amount of problems. I do have some smart bulbs here in my office, and they're not Philips Hue. And occasionally I'll have some that won't turn on or won't turn off, and I'll have to turn the light switch on and off to get them powered back on so they'll actually respond to voice commands. Philips Hue, never a problem. They've always turned on and off without an issue. And it's probably because the Philips Hue uses the hub, and the hub communicates with the bulbs using thread. And so they communicate within themselves, and they don't have to go out to the Wi-Fi. They actually bounce off of each other. So they just work perfect. But what you want to make sure is that if you're going to do smart bulbs, make sure you actually need a smart bulb and not just the smart switch. I covered that in my last video because you want to make sure you're spending your money wisely, right? So obviously 4 bulbs is more expensive than 1 switch. And if you don't really have the need of controlling the bulbs like color or things like that, then probably a smart switch is the best way to go. Now, I will also say though, there are times where a smart switch might not be the best choice, even if you don't need to change individual bulbs, because I found that when you have multiple switches that control the same light, sometimes getting those chained together can be a little complicated, at least for me. Again, I'm not an electrician. I imagine you could probably hire an electrician. He'd come in, wire it up, 5 seconds, be done with it. So just prioritize, again, from last time, prioritize what you need. And then you can decide what you're going to buy first. But those 2 things, in my opinion, are the absolute bare minimum for a smart home. Okay. Now, the next thing that I would do is I would put in a smart thermostat like this Google Nest thermostat. This is the newest generation and it looks fantastic. I actually have the 3rd gen, that's the 4th gen. And it just, again, that works great. I can adjust my temperature. When we go on vacation, sometimes I forget to change the thermostat down because obviously I don't want it too hot or too cold while we're not here because that's kind of irrelevant. So if I forget to change it, I can just go in my app and change my thermostat. And these thermostats are learning thermostats. So they actually kind of learn your habits and it'll just create a schedule for you. You don't even need to do anything with it. It's awesome. It really is awesome. There are other thermostats available. I think Ecobee has one. Pretty sure Amazon has one. So, there's multiple types of smart thermostats. You just need to pick one that works for you and make sure, this is very important, make sure the thermostat is compatible with your home's energy system. Some systems like heat pumps and different things like that, you have to make sure the thermostat can actually control those devices properly. Now, most of the time though, these Nest learning thermostats, they support pretty much all types of heating and cooling systems. So it's typically not a problem. I've never had an issue with any of the ones I've installed, and I've installed mine and I've installed some family members. So I think the learning thermostats will probably be fine, but I don't know about the other manufacturers, so you definitely want to investigate that. And then the next thing that you'd want to do is a smart switch. Now, you can do a switch like that you actually put in your wall, like that right here, or you can do a switch that you plug into an existing receptacle, and then the device itself is smart, and then you plug whatever it is that was plugged into the receptacle into the device, so that way you can control it. I don't have any in-wall smart plugs. All of my smart plugs are the device that you actually plug into an existing receptacle. Not because I don't really want it, it's just because it was easier for me. And again, what's been nice about not having it in the wall is multiple times I'll be moving it. So like, for example, downstairs, we used to have some diffusers that you would put the wax in, and then, it'd heat up and it'd, make it smell nice. Well, I didn't ever want those to be running nonstop. So I put those on a smart plug, because then I could just unplug it and I can move it. So like those diffusers, we'd put one in the bedroom, and then we decided, let's do something different in the bedroom. I'm going to put this diffuser in the living room. So all I had to do is unplug the diffuser and the smart plug and take it out to the living room, plug it in somewhere, and I didn't have to reconfigure anything. All I had to do was change the room that the device was located in, so that way when I did voice commands, it would respond properly. But smart plugs are super cheap and they work fantastic. I would recommend these right here. They've worked perfect for me. I've had no issues with them, and they are Wi-Fi, but they respond, pretty quickly. No problems at all. And probably the last thing I would say that would be a core device you would want is some type of smart hub, obviously, because that goes back to the last video about the ecosystem, that you want a smart hub, smart speaker that's attached to the ecosystem you're using, that you can attach these devices to and control them all using whatever voice assistant you're going to be using. So this is kind of why, though, that I put in step 3 about determining what ecosystem you're going to want to use, because there are some devices that aren't compatible with certain ecosystems. So you just want to make sure that, okay, here's what I'm using. I need to find something that works with that ecosystem. Now, I will say that over the last year or so, the compatibility has expanded dramatically from most devices. And other than HomeKit, I don't know that there's anything that's not supported in the Google Home or the Amazon Alexa system. I can tell you that Google Home system, because that's what I use, I don't have any issues finding anything that works with that system. Now, how I connect it to my Google Home could be different, because Google Home does support Matter. So if it's a Matter connected device, I don't have to use the manufacturer app. I can go straight into Google Home and connect it via Matter. But if that's not the case, I would just install the manufacturer app, connect the device to the app and that account, and then I just take that account and log it into my Google Home, so my Google Home can then control that device. And that works really well. The only problem is, obviously, if you have so many different apps and accounts, it can get a little cumbersome sometimes just trying to remember, what's what. But I think that's going to be getting a lot better as we move forward, because Matter is getting more and more available. More manufacturers are adopting the Matter networking technology, and it's working a lot better. So I'm hoping at some point in the future that you can just buy devices and your ecosystem, your smart speaker, smart hub, whatever you're going to have, and then you just attach those devices directly into your smart ecosystem. So not quite there yet for everything, but it's moving in that direction. So I think that's promising. So once you decide on those devices as to what you want to start with, again, with the ecosystem, you should already have a smart hub, smart speaker. Then decide if you need smart switches, smart bulbs, smart plugs. Those are probably the 3 core things. You can then expand with the smart thermostat and other devices that might kind of just enhance things at your home. But I believe that the switch, the plug, and the lights are probably the top 3 high priority devices. and then the thermostat, and then you can move into other devices like, accent lighting and other things that you can control. Once you get everything kind of situated and you kind of get your bearings on how everything's functioning and you get your switches in, your plugs in, whatever you're going to install, probably the next thing I would look at is if you own your home and you have a garage, I would definitely look into smart garage technology. It has been fantastic for me and my wife. I use the MyQ system, and it also incorporates with the MyQ camera system. So, for example, with that, it enables me to use the Amazon in-home delivery, which is actually in-garage delivery. So when I order something on Amazon, I can choose in-garage delivery. And when the Amazon delivery driver shows up, he scans the package. Once he does that, it automatically locks my interior door, raises my garage door, allows him to put the package or her in the garage. And then when they scan that the delivery is complete, it closes my garage door, and then it will unlock my interior door after the garage door is closed. So it secures your home as far as the interior of the house and gives you the ability to have that in-garage delivery. Now, it's saved us a couple times where we ordered some things that would have been damaged in the rain, and it was raining, but because we had in-garage delivery, it was delivered to the garage, stayed nice and dry, no issue. I don't know if you've ever had a package that's been sitting out in the rain and then you try to open it or something, the cardboard just disintegrates and it's a mess. And in addition, obviously, it can damage whatever is inside the box if it's not supposed to be wet, right? So it makes it nice. The MyQ system works amazingly well. Now, here's the only caveat to the MyQ system. And I know a lot of people don't like this, but I'm going to tell you why I do like it. So the MyQ ecosystem is its own network and account. It does not integrate into the Google Home system. Now, you can use certain apps like IFTT, if that, then this, or if this, then that, however you want to do it. And it's just basically a way of saying, if this happens, then do this with whatever device you're going to control. But the reason why they segregate it is because they don't want somebody to be able to randomly use voice commands or some other way of controlling your garage and your door locks and then getting in your house. So they segregate that into their own system using their MyQ functionality. And there's actually certain car manufacturers that support MyQ now, so that way when you actually drive up to your house, it will raise your garage. Now, I still haven't set up the Homey, and what I read is that you can actually use the Homey to control geofencing, where when you come home, it'll automatically open the garage. That would be cool. So I'm going to try that and see how that works. But I haven't completely got that set up yet, so that's going to be another video. So make sure you hit that bell icon and subscribe. And don't forget, man, thumbs up would be awesome. I sure do appreciate it, because I do have some pretty cool stuff coming up, including that Homey video. And of course, there's still step number 5 that you'll want to stick around for. So basically, once you get, those core functions devices set up, then you can move into the smart thermostats, the smart garage, smart locks on the interior and exterior doors. I mean, there's a lot of other things, security cameras. There's so much you can do. And I think what I'm going to do, I just thought about this. I think I'm going to make a video coming up where I'll actually walk around and I'm going to show you all the different devices and functionality that I have set up in my home, because most of the things I have, I don't ever have to touch switches or, door locks. They just work, and it seems like, oh, that's just lazy, but no, it's convenience. I guess you could look at it as being lazy, but to me, it's convenient. And it also is adding security, because there's times where I've forgot to lock a door when I went to bed, but I have my smart lock set up that if I forgot to lock it by 11 o'clock, it automatically locks it for me and I don't have to think about it. So yeah, it's not lazy, it's convenience and it's security and it's important. And again, there's so much of this that can be used for, elderly people that maybe live alone or that just need some additional assistance in, turning lights on and off and locking doors and having security cameras. Again, my dad has passed. He had dementia, but man, it would have been great to be able to have him use the smart locks and the smart lights and be able to have certain security things in place that I would know if something happened. Now, my stepmother was there, which is awesome. And, so she was able to know what was going on, but there were times where they both needed some help. So, you really want to think about that. And it's something I think that is overlooked a lot, and how smart technology can help everyone, not just, the younger generation. If you have elderly parents, grandparents, or whatever that, live by themselves, or that you want to make sure they're cared for and have those conveniences and that their security is right and they're being protected, these things are great, right? So definitely want to consider that. But if you have any questions or comments, please hit me up in the comments section. I'm going to link all these products in the description so you can go check them out for yourself. And again, if you have any questions about maybe what to buy, I can absolutely help you with that. So there's also going to be links in the description to my consultation services that I offer, to where I can actually get on a video call with you. You can show me what you have, maybe even show me like the area of your home that you are curious about what you should do and how you should configure it, because you can use the camera on your phone, and I'll be happy to do that for you. So go check that out. Also, make sure you get your free PDF that basically is covering these 5 steps. That way you'll have something to reference. And you can obviously come back to the video, but that way you'll have just this. It's just a 2-page PDF that gives you these 5 core steps in beginning your smart home. And of course, step 5 is coming up next week. So all that's going to be in the description. If you have any questions, make sure you let me know. I'll be happy to answer your questions for you. And in case you missed it, go back to step 3 and watch this video, because it'll go over the ecosystem, and we'll see you next time.